My name is Jeremy Allen Bastian. I live in Ypsilanti, Michigan. It's about right about here-ish, and I do a book called Cursed Pirate Girl. My first convention I ever set up at was Novi's Motor City show 7 years ago. Me and a friend went in on a table and we did a sketchbook for this. He did half of it and I did the other half. I sold 2 issues of this at that con. One was to my mom and the other was to my cousin. So 2 years after that, though, I was able to put out a couple cooler books. I finally got my own story and decided, this is what I'm going to go for. It's called Phantom Core. It's a little bit more for mature readers. It's got a lot of blood and chicks with guns and that sort of thing. That same year, though, me and a friend put out this book, and it's sort of a collaboration project. I did 2 stories, he did 2, and then we went together on the 5th one. But in this book is the first 4-page Cursed Pirate Girl story, and I decided after the Phantom Core book didn't take off that well, I reevaluated. I took a look at the Cursed Pirate Girl story and I said, you know what, I think that's the book I have to make. So it took me maybe like an extra year, and then I self-published Cursed Pirate Girl #1. And I really like this story. I think this is, besides the mustache, that's probably what will make me famous. It took me 3 weeks to do the entire story. I wrote it out as a 6-issue story arc, and I wrote it on continuous feed tractor paper, so I spread it out, and it's actually 24 feet of script. It's just a little goofy thing that people like to make fun of me about. Issue 3 took me about a year, a little over a year just to complete. It's not your industry standard by any means, but like I said, I draw 2 actual size, and this is the artwork. This is, how big I draw it and what I do with it. The story is sort of a cross between Alice in Wonderland and Pippi Longstocking, but with more of a grim fairy tale sort of feel to it. In Cursed Pirate Girl, not only will you find pirates, but they're also knights, like the 2 Swordfish brothers. There's going to be all kinds of witches and monsters. The story is about a orphan girl who decides it's finally time to go out and find her father. I wanted to do a story that was sort of timeless and classic, sort of like Alice, or even Little Nemo in Slumberland, or Dorothy from Oz, with a real archetypal, female lead. And I try to make it as crazy as possible. It's a real challenge for myself personally to make every page, better and cooler than the last. This year will actually be the 6th year I've been to San Diego. I spent 3 years at San Diego, sort of just in portfolio review lines, getting my work shown around. This will be the 3rd year of actually setting up at San Diego behind my publisher's setup. Preparing for San Diego usually takes about a week beforehand, just doing all the packing, and then I do a lot of hand stained prints, which is I take pieces from my portfolios and I blow them up and I stain them with tea and coffee and then throw them in the oven, and that takes a couple of days in itself. I do a bunch of them, so I'll be going out this year on Monday to help set up on Tuesday. Preview night is on Wednesday, and then it's straight into the con. And I'm really excited. This year I will be sitting next to Jim Rose of the Jim Rose Circus and Michael Zulli, who has done a whole bunch of work for Neil Gaiman in the past. San Diego is so enormous that you can almost get motion sick watching the crowds. Sitting behind a table, you just see this sort of tidal wave of people. And so I've stopped sitting at the table. I stand now. I think it's a little bit better. It is the big show, and I recommend it to everybody that I meet, that they do it at least once just to see, get the experience, go to some panels, and then seeing just all the artists. They're such amazing artists. So it's a lot of preparation, it's a lot of hard work, and it's totally worth it. One of the main things that I think I would like to try and accomplish at this year's Comic-Con is to maybe get my book into the hands of Guillermo del Toro, because I really respect him as a director. His artistic vision is just phenomenal. All the details and the look and the feel that he puts into his movies, and I think he might be able to appreciate like what I have and Curse Pirate Girl. I don't know if he's going to be there. He might not be there, but that would be like a dream come true for me.